Hey, it's Bart again with Wilson County Schools. Hope you're having a great night so far. If you missed the March Board of Education meeting and stunning live stream primetime TV, don't worry, we got you covered. Hey, first thing to point out is something cosmetic. Hey, out of Zoom and into the room. That's right, all school board members present and accounted for and not looking through a Zoom window pane. They were all in the boardroom tonight, so that was good to see. Not long into tonight's meeting, County Attorney Mike Jennings would slide all the board members and Director of Schools, Dr. Donna Wright, into an executive session. He had to provide them some information regarding tornado damaged schools, Stoner Creek Elementary and West Wilson Middle. Now, when they came out of executive session, they did take a vote. It was unanimous, and Mr. Jennings had this to offer.
I did explain to you, along with Dr. Wright and the chairman and Michael Smith, where we feel like we are now, and that we are prepared to ask you to make a motion tonight. The motion that I'm asking you to do is that you make a motion to allow us to proceed within the parameters of what we discussed in the back room now in executive session. I'm sorry to use that phrase, back room. That doesn't sound very good. In executive session, that you approve the parameters of what we talked about there. I'm sorry that for the general public that we have to be this vague at this time, but it'll be very clear at some point in time what we're doing. But what we have, the plan of action that we're recommending, we've determined to follow subject to your approval, is what we believe will be the quickest way to get those schools up out of the ground. And so we're hopeful that if you approve this tonight, things will move relatively quickly, and we'll see. But I will ask you at this time, without saying anything else, unless you have questions, to make a motion to approve proceeding through NFA within the parameters of what we talked about in executive session.
So nothing too specific coming out of that executive session. However, in Mr. Jennings' tone, you could tell that what was voted on tonight unanimously meant that it was in the best interest in moving forward. When it comes to Stoner Creek and West Wilson, of course, any new information that we get that can be provided to the public regarding those schools, we'll be sure to let you know. Okay, another big topic tonight, getting the Director of Schools candidate lists down to 5 names, well, or 6. Here's what happened. So the plan was to get it down to 5 names. However, after all the tabulation was done, when the school board members gave their lists of top 5 candidates to the director or deputy director of human resources, Mrs. Rebecca Owens, she did her tabulation and it produced 6 names because there was a tie involved in the scoring. Nonetheless, though, here are the names that are going to make it to the round of interviews later this month. Dr. John Ash, currently principal at Central Magnet in Murfreesboro. Jerry Boyd, he is with the Department of Education, Assistant Commissioner, Academics and Instructional Strategy and District Operations. Now, some news about Mr. Boyd tonight coming out of East Tennessee. Washington County over in East Tennessee, their Board of Education, they voted Mr. Boyd to be their new director. So be interesting to see if Mr. Boyd goes ahead and takes that position and doesn't come to our interviews. Again, don't know if he's formally accepted the job or what the case may be, but that information is coming out of East Tennessee tonight. Nonetheless, he was a finalist, or he was selected to make it to our round of interviews later this month. Moving on, Jeff Luttrell, he is currently HR supervisor with Wilson County Schools, and he's a former principal at Watertown High School. He's been around the district quite a while. Also, Mr. Travis Mayfield, currently principal at Wilson Central High School. He'll be coming through for interviews for the director job. Robert Sales, he is the supervisor of attendance at Overton County Schools. I looked long and hard, couldn't find a photo for Mr. Sales, but he'll be there. Okay, moving on. Dr. Amy Wyatt, and she is Director for Southern Regional Education Board, Adjunct Professor for Lipscomb University, and Career Academics Consultant for Steel Dynamics. So Dr. Amy Wyatt, she will be coming through for interviews as well. That's going to take place on Thursday, March 25th. It's going to be all day. Interviews are going to get kicked off around 9 a.m., and they're just going to rotate them in and out. It's going to be an all-day process, and from the information from the board tonight, it's not going to be split into 2 days or anything. They're going to bring all candidates in for interviews in 1 day. So more information about that process and how that will go closer to time. But just wanted to give you the latest on that the candidate list has certainly been narrowed down as we continue to search for our new director of schools. My screen changed and there's our current director of schools, Dr. Dinah Wright. Technology. All right, good night, Dr. Wright. Good night to all of you guys. It's late. Let's all get some sleep. All right, have a good rest of the night. Have a good day tomorrow, and I'll talk to you again real soon.